Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight in Business for March 28th, 2022. I'm your host, Tammy Defoe, President, Founder, and Business Coach at GTApreneurs. I'm so happy to introduce to you today Mitzy Dadoun. She's known as the LinkedIn Queen and President of MD Digital Marketing Agency. So she's going to be the guest speaker at our next big open networking event tomorrow night. That's Tuesday, March 29th at 7 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. She's going to give us a lot of great tips all about social media marketing and other types of marketing. And welcome to the show, Mitzy. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Tammy. Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's great to have you. And I'm so excited to have you speak tomorrow night. It's going to be fantastic. So can you tell us more about yourself?
So, you know what? I am a serial entrepreneur, I have to admit, and I have always loved marketing. And it sort of was always a part of my business that excited me. And it kind of just grew and grew and grew. And I was helping a lot of people with their LinkedIn. So somebody called me the LinkedIn Queen and it stuck. And then I just kind of kept developing it all and helping people with more of their digital marketing and their online presence and coaching to get known as the go-to expert in their field.
Nice. Yeah, why not, right? I think it's a great title. It really gives people a sense of what you do, but you do more than just LinkedIn, right? So can you tell us about all the other different services you offer?
Absolutely. And you're right. We do a lot more than LinkedIn, but LinkedIn, I think, is like the foundation. If you're going to be in business, you need to have a really good LinkedIn profile, and you need to really learn how to network and monetize and use LinkedIn. But it is, the foundation piece. And then what we do is we build on it and we add on it. So we build VIP loyalty programs where we have texting back and forth, where you have specials for people. We do social posting because you need to be out there every day giving some content with some value and making sure that people know that your business is very active. Mm-hmm. And great things like press releases and media campaigns. So again, when you get a backlink from a site like Yahoo Finance to your LinkedIn profile or to your website, that holds huge credibility, and it's great for Google My Business and getting you up there as well. So all of the things are designed to work together to help that business owner with their online presence, to be helping them find ways to generate more revenue from their clients and to be getting in more clients who will spend more money with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's break down those services a little bit more, right? And so I am glad you did bring up LinkedIn for business owners, who is the people that we both help, where a lot of people just think that LinkedIn's a place you post your resume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you know what? If you're an employee and you're wanting to be getting another job as an employee, then you have your LinkedIn profile that reads like a resume. If you are a business owner, if you are a salesperson, if you are marketing, if you're trying to build a business, then what your LinkedIn profile needs to be doing is answering the question, how can you help your ideal client? It's all about what you do for them, not about, oh, I won this award and I did this, and who cares? Really? Like, who care? What they want to know is, how are you going to help me solve my problem?
Absolutely. Right. And that's really the foundation of marketing in general is, telling the person what's in it for them. What is the benefit of what you do? Right. So it is important to have it clearly stated, and I mean, it's really an art, writing. Right. So, and there's all different sections of your website. So do you go through their title, their headline, tell us a little bit more of the parts that you help with for LinkedIn?
Yeah. So we do we'll redo the LinkedIn banner. So create a banner that again speaks to who your person is that you're trying to attract. And then we also will do your about section, which is, specifically saying within the about section, the problems that you solve and how you help people. So, that's what you highlight in the about section. You make it all about what are people's pain points and how can you solve those pain points because of your expertise.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a place where people make a lot of mistakes. They're just think it's about me. Oh, let me talk about myself for all this time. Well, people are going to have the same reaction you had. That's nice, but take the time to do and say, how can we help you? Right. But, you want to make sure it's proper English grammar and worded such a way it compels people. That's why it's good to have, your company who can do that for you as opposed to people trying to do that themselves, right? And so
Absolutely.
yeah. And I mean, what's the other thing about LinkedIn? Like you can have a profile there, but then we don't really want to set it and forget it, right? So what are the other parts of how we can monetize LinkedIn?
So LinkedIn is all about building your network and then connecting with your network and staying in touch with them. So you want to be creating posts that are relevant, that will, engage your audience. You want to be reaching out to people, messaging them, but set up one-on-one meetings with people, because where you make money, where you monetize is when you take it off of LinkedIn. Taking it off of LinkedIn is either, you're having a phone conversation, you're having a coffee meeting, you're doing a Zoom meeting, but you're having that one-on-one communication and learning about each other's businesses and figuring out how you might be able to help each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So that's another thing too, where you can have a great profile and you want to have one, especially because if someone is, they look you up online, the first thing that pops up is your LinkedIn profile, right?
Yeah.
And, they're going to see that, right? Although if they're also searching for something and they find you, but then, in addition to that, you have to go a step further, because the dream is we do want everyone to coming to us, but in reality, we also have to reach out to other people. So that's where these individual messaging comes in and stuff like that, and to go back to the posting you mentioned before, is that it's just like, even huge companies like McDonald's, they still advertise, they pay for advertisement, right?
Absolutely.
Right. You have to put yourself out there so people know who you are, but then not just about buy my thing. You have to give them something valuable that shows them what you do, but also how it can help them, right?
Absolutely. And when you're doing your posting, type of posting that you do on LinkedIn versus Instagram versus Facebook versus Twitter, there are some similarities, but some differences. When you're posting on Facebook, you can have a lot more sort of fun and playful things and bring personality into it. With LinkedIn, you're going to focus more on business and then bring a little bit of your personality into it, almost the flip-flop of each other. And people are going to LinkedIn as a business platform. So people know and understand that you'll be reaching out for business and they'll be reaching out for business. That's what the platform is designed for. Versus if you try and reach out the same way in Facebook, you may be considered to be very spammy and inappropriate. But reaching out about a business proposal in LinkedIn is what is expected.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes, especially as women, we're always getting messages from guys that, want to pick us up in that. So I
God.
So you kind of get weary if some guy's sending you a message on Facebook, right? Like a friend request, but at least on LinkedIn, you see, okay, they're a business person, right? They look like they have this, it's a little more legitimate, right? But let's talk now about your other services. So you mentioned texting campaigns. How does that work?
So with the texting, it's really quite neat, and we can structure it a variety of different ways. One thing we can do is put a widget onto somebody's website so that when somebody lands their website, you can start having either a phone conversation or a texting conversation right away with the person, and it can continue after they're off of your website. That really helps with conversions. The other thing we do is we build in, basically, we create an app and we create a campaign for businesses to be engaging their clients and getting their clients to send them more clients. So how do we do this? An example would be a chiropractor. Let's say, for example, Tuesdays, their office is really slow, right? They're swamped on the weekends, and Tuesdays they're slow. So we might create a campaign where on Mondays, their database gets a text message that says, book your massage on Tuesday, and you get an hour massage for the price of a half an hour, right? Or it might say, another example might be a restaurant. They're really, really busy during the end of the week. So they might say, okay, Tuesdays, if you come out, you'll get a free appetizer. And then the next week, they might offer 2 for drinks. So different types of promotions to encourage someone to come back to the restaurant, to come back, maybe bring their friends, and maybe choose to go back to that particular place versus somewhere else because, they just got that reminder message that they can get a discount, and now you're top of mind again, right? It's all about staying top of mind with your potential client. So when they're ready to buy your particular service, that you're the one that they think of. And that's an ongoing process. It's not a one and done. It's an ongoing process. That's why it's so important.
Yep.
The other thing that's huge and important with the texting is that it allows people to control the marketing. We don't own Facebook. We don't own LinkedIn. You've probably heard of people getting shut down. Their advertising got shut down. Their accounts got shut down in both Facebook and LinkedIn. So it's really important that you capture your clients and you have your own database that is off of those platforms so that you can still market to them in case one of those platforms disappears or has a freeze. Remember 6 months ago, I know Facebook was down for like 6 hours and it was like, people were like, oh my God, I can't do anything. Well,
I know. It was weird. I'm like,
right. It's because they had all of their information there. You need to take it off and have it elsewhere so you can still be reaching out to people.
exactly. Yeah. And, and you never know. I mean, I know people have gotten, like, they've tried to post an ad that even wanted to pay for it. And Facebook's like, no, we're not going to allow that ad. Right. So it does give you more flexibility. But how does it work with the website actually? Because a lot of people have the chat bot at the bottom. So like, is it something where people go to your website and then they type the message and it goes to your phone? Is that how it works?
So the chat bot that we put onto your website, yes, that's exactly how it works. It goes onto the website, and then there's also an app for your computer and for your phone so that you can be texting in real time with somebody who's on your website. The VIP loyalty program, we use the same technology, but we structure and set it up in a different way. So in effect, we create a landing page specific for registering for the promotions or whatever. And then we, when people add themselves to that list, then we can send them out the promotions. So for most businesses, we set up a campaign of, 12 to 16 promotions, and then sort of, go reuse the good ones again over and over again because they're working.
Yeah.
So you find the ones that work.
Yeah. And, I've received actually a couple from you actually. Right. And I have to say they're pretty effective. So,
Yeah.
but it's just like how, you get the pizza coupons in the mail, right?
Exactly.
Like for me, like usually I go to Domino's for pizza. I just like Domino's, and I have their app so I can get every so many pizzas, get one free. But then Pizza sent a flyer in the mail that said, oh, you can get a free Uno card deck with this stuff. I'm like, oh, wow, I like pizza too, right? And maybe I should get that because I want to get the deck. So you do have to be doing it regularly, right? Whether it be for your texting and your LinkedIn or your Facebook and that. Now you mentioned press releases. So tell us a little bit more about how that works.
Absolutely. But you brought up a great point. See how you thought about one pizza because there was something in the free gift or whatever that triggered for you. And that's why we create different promotions. Mm-hmm. So, and again, the press releases feed into that very same thing. So we can use the press release to announce creating a loyalty program for your company and say go and register here to be part of this, and you'll start to get discounts and promotions and things for the various businesses. We also use those press releases. We create a slide share and a podcast from the press release, which again further gets more digital assets out there, and they keep building. So the more presence you have out there, the more that Google is going to recognize you, right? So and they see that, Mitzy Dadoun, the LinkedIn queen, has several articles on Yahoo Finance. Then when they're looking for an authority, that's going to help pull it out. And do that with every business. So we do a strategy session, kind of find out about the business, what it is that they want to promote, what is their most profitable part of their business, what is the part of the business that they like doing the most. And then we figure out and put together and develop campaigns, both in the media and in the VIP texting and on LinkedIn, that will bring you more of those ideal plus customers and clients.
Yeah. And before you mention backlinking, can you just elaborate on what that means?
Yeah. So backlinking is when there is a link from one website over to another website. It's basically you're on the one website and it says, oh, if you like this particular thing, click here and it takes you over somewhere else. That's a backlink. Okay. You're linking to another site. Well, when, a dentist has a link from another dentist or maybe an orthodontist or from their own website, it does something to LinkedIn, but you have a link that comes from Morningstar or Yahoo Finance or NASDAQ that is linking from that site that gets millions and millions of visitors every month to your website, or to your LinkedIn profile, or to your landing page. That brings far more credibility because of the volume, right? So it builds on itself. It's kind of like, think about all of your marketing as a snowball. It starts off really tiny, and as it goes down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and faster and faster and faster. And that's what your marketing is supposed to do for you. It is a cumulative effect. So, are you going to get 1,000 responses the first day you put something out? No. But as you keep building and as you keep doing it consistently and putting that message out there and staying top of mind with people, it's going to be a snowball rolling down the hill, gaining momentum and helping you build your business.
Absolutely, right? That's that repetition. The more people see something, they say it takes an average of 5 to 7 times for someone to see something before they agree to buy. Which means that some people may be the first time, but some people might be the 20th time, but usually it says that 5 to 7 times. So having the consistency, right? Like maybe you have something coming across as a text, and then they also see your post on Facebook or LinkedIn, and then they see your website when they're searching for something, and then you also maybe call them. So the more that people hear it without being pushy, right? You're just giving something free. Hey, would you like this?
It's an omnipresent kind of thing. They just feel like you're everywhere. And so then you're obviously the right choice.
That's right. You are the authority. That's the whole point, where you want to come out as the authority on a particular topic. And, the people who get the most exposure, those are the people who get the most business. So yeah, reach out to Mitzy. Thanks so much for coming in, Mitzy. You look fabulous today. And I'm so excited to have you as our speaker tomorrow night. Again, if you have not yet registered, click the link below to get your ticket tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, and you have a great rest